Whoa.
It zoomed out, I think.
It was like, it's like, it looks weird when you move it around. It doesn't look like the other one. Whoa.
It zoomed out, I think.
It was like, it's like, it looks weird when you move it around. It doesn't look like the other one. Good morning. So, as you saw, we were working on the ceiling. And I was working on the ceiling, yeah.
Let's be honest.
And it was mostly time lapse, so I apologize for all the time lapse in the beginning, but there's a reason why. I came out here yesterday to do it, and our camera would not turn on. It was working totally fine. Last time we used it, it just wouldn't turn on. So we had to order a new one, which I am filming on now because it just came this morning. So yeah. I guess that's one way to get a new camera. Luckily, I think we can get it fixed. We'll send it in. There's a place in North Carolina that fixes them that we can send it into, and it's not too expensive. So hopefully they can get it fixed. We'll have to do that. But anyway, that's why we were time lapsed in the beginning. But this room is done on the ceiling, and then that room where Tina is, and that room over there. So this is like the middle room between the bedrooms. This is the other bedroom. This one's done too. Closets are done. And then, as you just saw, we did the bathroom. So it's going pretty quick on the ceiling. Part of me wishes I started on the ceiling because it's a lot quicker.
You would have seen the progress
yeah.
faster than you did with the walls.
But I have that little closet left to do, and then we'll be done on this wing. And then I don't know how I'm gonna do the laundry room yet because the scaffolding doesn't fit around that corner. So I'd either have to take it apart and reassemble it, or I might just do that from a ladder. I'm not sure yet, but I think we'll work over in the guest bedroom now, head that way, and then get that done. And then I might do the master and get that done, just time-wise. I don't know if I'm gonna start in that great room today or not. Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done around here. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll go over to the guest bedroom.
This is dry. That one's dry. This one's dry.
Good morning. So, I guess I need to apologize again because I had some more footage of this room, but when I was exporting from the camera to the computer, I deleted some of it. So that's why you only saw like, what, up to this joint. But this room is done. It's been a rough couple days, I guess. I also did in here. So this is the bathroom, that's done. And then I got the laundry room, mostly done. That's all done over there. I got one cross joint there. And then I got this corner here, the corner behind you guys, and then this corner bead here. Not corner bead, corner transition between the wall and the ceiling. So I'll knock that out quick this morning. Got my helper. What are you doing? What's that for?
The dirt ball.
Yeah. Are you gonna mud? You don't know? And then I'm going to attempt to today get this entire living room knocked out. It should be, it's gonna be difficult, but I'd like to get it all done. And that will leave us just with the pantry and then the master wing over there. And it'll leave us with the office. A bunch of boxes, I gotta get rid of those. In the next video, we're gonna tackle all that. We got our wiring and stuff that we can run so we can get that taken care of and not have to worry about having that drywall off. So that's kind of the plan. There is some lost footage, like I said, but I also got to cut out, there's a hidden light for the island somewhere in here. I had to go up in the attic and find that because I never cut it out when we installed the ceiling, and now I don't know where the heck it is. So anyway, I'll knock out the laundry room and then we'll start the living room. camera died at some point, but I got this mostly done. I got one long seam there that goes all the way to the front door. I got one 4-foot butt, two 4-foot butts. Yeah, two 4-foot butt joints, one long one corner there, and then the corner by the door. And then that should be, actually I got one corner over here too. So, pretty decent progress. Actually, there's another butt joint right there. So, not too bad. Made it a lot farther than I thought I was gonna make it today. So, this is, what would you say, what percentage of the house ceiling?
70% maybe.
It's gotta be, it's only that over there, the master wing, which is 40 by 15. So 600 square feet. So yeah, 70%. So yeah, decent progress. And it's starting, it's funny, I was talking to my dad the other day and we were talking about it, and it looks more and more like a house. And he said you can kind of see where things are gonna be as we start getting this drywall done. And that's kind of my feelings too. So yeah, but ceiling part 1 is done. And we try to get most of this done in one video because the next, we have to finish up the office and the walls, and I gotta add some electrical and do some of that when we finish up the ceiling. So that'll be next video. Yeah, but anyway, that's where we're gonna leave this video. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you on the next video.
Bye.